since it's been a very long journey of yours,
Yeah.
where do you think that we should start from?
My entire childhood was in Shamshabad up to 7th standard. After finishing my 7th standard, I came to Hyderabad, which is about 15 kilometers from Shamshabad. And I have done government high school Chadarghat, where I spent 3 years, 8th, 9th and 10th classes. So after completing my, what at that time was called matriculation, I went for what is known as pre-university course in again a government college known as City College, which is in, which is on the banks of Musi River. And then after completing pre-university program, I went to a popularly known college, Nizam College, which is again a government institution, where I have done my Bachelor of Arts with economics, public administration and political science. So that was a 3-year program. After completing that 3-year program, I went to Osmania University campus, where I have done Bachelor of Journalism, a 1-year program. In Rajendra Nagar, even today that government-sponsored institute is there, National Institute of Rural Development. Now they have expanded it to National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj. One Dr. Haldipur was its director at the time. And C.D. Deshmukh and Durgabai Deshmukh already settled down in Hyderabad, and they were involved in adult education. So in that way I came into contact. They knew about it, about this Princeton University program. That program has 16 participants at the university. 8 are from United States itself, and 8 are from Latin America, Africa and Asia. 8. So it was a mix of 16, 8 from developing countries and 8 from United States itself. So when it came for selection, nomination was done by Haldipur. Initial selection was done in Delhi by a committee headed by C.D. Deshmukh, Chintamani Deshmukh. So they recommended my name to Princeton University. I had what you say experience in Panchayat Raj institutions at village known as Gram Panchayat and at Taluka Panchayat Samiti and at district Jilla Parishad. In all these 3 levels I had already worked. Looking at my background, they have selected me. Only 2 Indians were selected. We went there. We were placed at Princeton University for 2 semesters. That I was able to make it. So it was a great experience, mm, very intensive. Our family was an agricultural family, completely dependent on agricultural. It was a giant family where my father and his elder brother families were a joint family for a long time. So I was able to move around without thinking about evening meal or anything. They were ready. The family was well to do. So neither my father or uncle, they were not looking at another hand in the giant family farming. That is that kind of security I was having. But in rural areas, very few families had such security. There was no need to earn, because whatever you were earning, our father and uncle were earning, that was sufficient. My father, Boj Reddy, he educationally he was a lawyer, but he did not practice. He was involved in farming and in public affairs. So he became a public figure, because that at that time it was not that easy to participate in politics and all those things, but he did it. So to some extent that has helped him, in the sense that this fellow knows something about governance, something about free, and my education in political science and public administration. I acquired several nuances of governance and all those things about politics. I was very much impressed by Harold Lasky, who has written Grammar of Politics. He was a British politician come academic. He has written an excellent book, how governance can be taken forward. There I have learned something about what is democracy, what is voting, what is adult franchise. These are all I have picked up from there. So with this background, I think I am more inclined to be in public affairs. I think most of the people in my village and subsequently in Rajendra Nagar community development block, probably they felt that okay, this person knows something about politics and public administration, and because of our almost predominant existence in the village, made it easy for me to become sarpanch. At first opportunity, I contested for Gram Panchayat. I was elected as sarpanch, the head of the Gram Panchayat. I worked less as an elected leader, but as a elected chief executive of Gram Panchayat. So my day used to start early in the morning at 7 o'clock. I used to be back in my home at 7 in the evening. In that way, I became very familiar with what are the needs of rural people. Because I come from a rural background, I know what it is in rural areas. I was convinced that unless you organize women themselves to do something, they won't be able to. It is the women who need some kind of encouragement, some tools to do some development activity. In that way, I chose for women's thrift cooperatives. So I came into contact with a cooperative known as Mulukanoor Cooperative Rural Bank and its president, Mr. Vishwanath Reddy. That was one cooperative which we. The second cooperative was Mahatma Gandhi Lift Irrigation Project, and its promoter was one professor of agronomy from Agriculture University. He left that job and promoted that. I became familiar with these two cooperatives and two gentlemen. When I personally visited Mulukanoor and Gadipalli, I was really impressed by their work. Why not this concept of cooperation be spread? First we started replication of Mulukanoor cooperative. Why it is so successful? And in other places, why they are a failure? So we started to conduct training programs for leaders of other primary agricultural cooperative societies. We moved further and established training programs that we have started to do it under what is known as Cooperative Development Foundation, which is an NGO. So we started to do this extension work, trying to motivate office bearers of primary agricultural cooperative societies. During this period, I happened to visit United States. Because of this Cooperative Development Foundation, they invited me to see their cooperative. We were very much impressed by what is known as credit union. It deals with only money, nothing else, no other activity. Deposits from the members or share capital from the members and lend it and correct. And then in say Mulukanoor area, which is also near Warangal, we said we will promote single commodity cooperatives, that is milk cooperatives or milk producers cooperatives that we have done. It is the most flourishing dairy cooperative in Telangana or in Andhra Pradesh. Since we were already in milk producers cooperatives, we said why not this credit union concept be promoted in the area where we are already working. First we said single commodity cooperative. Credit union single commodity cooperative. The commodity was money. And when we started to work with the rural people, it will not work. We are from CDF, we are from Cooperative Development Foundation. No, we are from Sahakara-Vikasa Samstha. Saha from Sahakara Vikasa Development Samstha Foundation. Sahavikasa and CDF is same. Swakrishi is something which we have kind, self-reliance. స్వకృషి మీరు సహకార సంఘం పెట్టుకోవటానికి ముందుకు వస్తున్నారు కానీ మీ యొక్క కృషి ఉండాలి. ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టు బి యువర్ ఓన్. CDF was fortunate to have around 10 development workers, most of them women, and they were very challenging development workers. So they started slowly in somewhere the place is known as Mulukanoor, and from there it has spread to so many villages. Those I formed them into first women thrift cooperative. After looking at women's thrift cooperatives and their success or whatever it is, men started to form their own. It is a replica of WTCs, MTCs, men's thrift cooperatives. Development activity is not a prerogative of men. It can be, women are also capable of running day-to-day activities of these small village level, rural background. But their spreading was not as we expected. I have noticed most of them are malfunctioning. Nobody was interested to make it well functioning because they were not following systems. The urge for systems came from the concept of self-reliance. Self-reliance cannot work without systems. We identified throughout the country that first Cooperative Societies Act, lots of powers were given under the Act. They can remove elected president, they can dissolve elected managing committee, they can even dissolve the cooperative. But they were using left and right throughout the country. We have studied the cooperative law and cooperative principle, vis-a-vis cooperative principles, concept of cooperative. We realized cooperative law is not promotive of concept of cooperation or principles of cooperation. We were able to convince 3 leading public figures, Dr. Kurian and L.C. Jain and Mohan Daria. So they were enjoying very good reputation with state governments, with politicians and some well-meaning bureaucrats. We have constituted a cooperative panel of these 3 persons. So with they were our face. We were their assistants, preparing the preparation, arranging the workshops, arranging the meetings in different parts of the country and all those things. Then finally, we have come out with a model law which is true to the concept and principles of cooperation. And we have prepared a draft law. When we took it to N.T. Rama Rao, at that time the present Telangana and Andhra were a single state and N.T. Rama Rao was Chief Minister. So we were able to, these Kurian and N.T. Rama Rao had lot of respect for Kurian. When we took it to N.T. Rama Rao, his only question was, is this cleared by Kurian? If it is cleared by Kurian, okay, we will do it, we will give you same law. He has given in toto. So we're the first state to opt for this model Cooperatives Act, which was named as, at that time, Andhra Pradesh Mutually Aided Cooperative Societies Act. Once it was done in Andhra Pradesh under N.T. Rama Rao, we went to different states. In other states, we are only doing extension work. No problem. We have become only cooperative law extension workers in cooperative law. In 10 states, it has been replicated. One thing is that we have to expand the concept of self-reliance. How can you build this vision among the members? We want to see that more and more women thrift cooperatives and their associations come into existence. It will be a very desirable growth. I am happy to see all those pleasant faces which have continued for some of them from 1990, when this movement was started, till today. They were participating in the activities of the women's thrift cooperatives very actively.
ఆర్థిక పరంగా వాళ్ళంతటా వాళ్ళు కూడబెట్టుకోవటం, స్వతంత్రంగా వాడుకోవటం, మళ్ళీ వాళ్ళు చేసుకోవడానికి అంతకుముందు ఎప్పటికీ వేరే వాళ్ళ మీద ఆధారపడి ఉండేది కదా సార్. ఇప్పుడు స్వతంత్రంగా వాళ్ళు చేసుకోవడానికి నిర్ణయాలకు అలవాటు అయిపోయారు. నలుగురం కలిసి ఏం చేస్తాం, ఎట్లా అన్నది ఇది బాగా పడిపోయింది. తప్పకుండా చుట్టుపక్కల ఊళ్ళో దీన్ని చూసి చాలా వరకు అందరూ ఇట్లుంటే బాగుంటుంది అనేది వచ్చింది. అందులో అంటే సంఘంలో ఉన్న సభ్యులే కాకుండా వేరే వాళ్ళకు కూడా ఆదర్శంగా ఉన్నది అన్నట్టు ఈ సంఘాలంటే.
ఈ ప్రజలకు ఇవాళ రామారెడ్డి గారు పెట్టిన ఒక వృక్షం చెట్టు, ఒక విత్తనం ఒక మహావృక్షమై ఇంతమంది దాని కాయలు కోసుకొని తింటుంటే మాకు చూస్తుంటే ఒక ఆనందం అనిపిస్తుంది. 25 సంవత్సరాల నుంచి ఆ సేవలో మేము కూడా తరించినందుకు మా కళ్ళకు కూడా నీళ్ళు వస్తాయి. ఇలాంటివి అంత బాగా రామారెడ్డి గారు ఈ వ్యవస్థను అంత ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్లారు. వాళ్ళు వారిదే దీపం.
Now from this field, Panchayat Raj to cooperatives to education, or education, or what you call non-governmental organization. My father Boj Reddy and a senior politician K.V. Ranga Reddy and Sangam Lakshmi Bai. These three, in 1952, they have established a school which is now known as M.H. Gupta Primary School or High School. So at that time, they invited 3 or 4 persons who are actively involved in developmental activities. I was one among them, and all these 3 enrolled from the NGO, saying that we are handing it over as it exists and it is your responsibility. We have established this society, that NGO, for promoting education among girls and women. So with the new membership of the society, I was elected as secretary. We have established junior college, that is +2, and from junior college they go to degree college, they go to engineering college, they go to pharmacy college. These 5 institutions are there. I can very emphatically say that the engineering college established by this education society doesn't collect any capitation fee. So in the last 20 years or so, we have not collected. That is how we are and all these 5 institutions are exclusively for girls and women.
Is understanding of institutions and architecture, and how to keep them away from state interference, and the conceptual clarity is almost unparalleled in the country. Very few people have that fidelity to a principle. And we co-founded FDR, the Foundation for Democratic Reforms, where we are sitting. We together founded this.
There were a lot of people who worked with Rama Reddy Garu who actually added strength to the kind of ideas that he worked on. But I think as a person, the integrity with which he worked, the clarity with which he put in place in the systems, and the kind of non-negotiables. I mean, these are all words that really apply to him. A common understanding that what he's saying is in their benefit. He's not a self-serving kind of a person. He's not promoting CDF or promoting a movement for any future political gains or whatever. Genuinely, he thought about building institutions that can support people.